So this morning I am talking about debunking the alpha myth. You have to be the alpha to gain control over your dog. Now, hopefully you will know that this is complete tosh, and I want to provide you with a little bit of training around this now. I'm laughing because I've got little Charlie here who wants me, he's digging at the blanket because he wants me to lift it up so he can bury himself on my lap. Never worked with children or animals. I don't know if you can see. He's underneath there. Say hello, Charlie. Are you going night-nights under there? Right, well, it looks like I'm going to have to do it a bit wobbly and holding the laptop because Charlie wants my lap. So, debunking the alpha myth. So let's start off by looking where the myth comes from. So firstly, it stemmed from outdated studies, misunderstood wolf studies, flawed studies of captive wolves back in the 40s, where unrelated wolves were forced into a captive, confined situation. And unsurprisingly, there was some dominance-based behaviours that emerged. Charlie, what are you doing? But the conditions didn't reflect the natural wolf-like behaviour, and then later studies then showed that actually wolves, real wolf packs, are more like family units and not dominant alpha-based tyrannical kind of setups, hierarchies, if you like. So domestic dogs are not wolves. They are from a distant relative of the wolf, and even wolves don't follow the outdated alpha pack myth model that we're led to believe that they do. So that's the first step that we need to look at, is actually where does the myth originate from and why isn't it right? I want to take a look as well about how damaging it can be and how those alpha dominance tactics can damage our dogs, our domestic dogs today. I feel like this is the most disorganised live ever because now I've got Dude. Dude, should we leave that? Where's Dude's toy? So let's have a little think about how the harm that those alpha tactics can create. So alpha things like alpha roles, forcing dogs, intimidating dogs, using dominance-based methods like yanking on the lead or withholding food, and intimidating the dog to act in a certain way. They don't teach dogs what to do. They only suppress behaviour temporarily. So you are likely to see other behavioural symptoms in other areas where their behaviour has been suppressed. And those side effects can be fear, anxiety, toileting in the house, toileting in places where you don't want them to. It can even be reactivity, aggression, shutdown behaviour, but ultimately it breaks down that dog human bond that we know is so precious, and it squashes their confidence, and it means that they're not able to make choice-based decisions confidently, because whenever they have made choice-based decisions, it's not been good enough, and it's been what's the right word? It's been received with aggression potentially from the human. So science backs that punishment-based training really increases stress for dogs. It increases the stress hormone and it increases aggression as well. So trying to gain control of a dog, which is a free-thinking being, means that actually Many people lose trust and connection, as well as being unethical and, in my opinion, quite frankly, cruel. What we need to do is replace that thought process with reality. And we need to replace it with the reality that positive reinforcement builds a bond, builds that cognitive freedom that we're looking to achieve, and means that we're able to work on a dog's self-esteem and self-confidence and work with them rather than against them. We're looking for clarity, consistency, and making sure that we're giving feedback to the dog, whether positive or negative feedback, whichever one you're choosing, hopefully positive, it's going to mean that that behaviour is repeated. So we only want to give the dog feedback about the behaviour that we want to see more of. So positive reinforcement, rewarding what you want to see repeated with clear communication and consistency, so the dog knows that you're predictable and it's getting a predictable outcome, means that you are going to have a safe, respectful relationship where the dog feels understood. And it means that you know that with that consistency, you're treating that dog as the valued individual that it is, rather than a being that is being kept captive and controlled through fear. You don't need to be the alpha to gain control. That is a myth. You need to be a teacher. You need to be a teammate, someone who is an ally to the dog, and someone who's trustworthy. So I hope that helps to debunk the myth for you, and that you have a fabulous rest of your day. Have a great one. Bye.